"Your truck is embarrassing. My new man has a real car." That's what my wife Chloe mocked me with, caught red-handed on our smart doorbell camera, not just with her lover, but revealing her entire plan to drain my finances and leave me. She thought I was just a dumb mechanic, easily fooled. She didn't realize that doorbell footage and one phone call I made before confronting her would lead to her losing everything, including that real car fantasy. This story is a wild ride through betrayal, financial ruin, and unexpected karma. Stick with me, and make sure you hit that subscribe button so you never miss these insane, real-life confessions. So I'm Daniel, 36. I'm a heavy diesel mechanic, specializing in commercial trucks. It's good, honest work, pays well enough that 3 years ago, Chloe, my wife of 5 years, together 7, and I bought a nice house in a decent neighborhood. I drive a 2014 F-250. It's practical for my job, great for hauling stuff, totally paid off. It's not flashy, but it's mine. Chloe, she works in pharmaceutical sales, always very conscious of image, appearances. When we first met, she claimed to find my blue-collar world charming, authentic. Yeah, right. Last month, I was away for 3 days at a mandatory certification course. Day 2. Around 11:45 p.m., my phone buzzes. A notification from our smart doorbell camera. Late enough to make my heart jump, thinking something was wrong. I opened the app. It was Chloe. All right, coming home way later than usual, laughing and leaning heavily on some guy in a slick, tailored suit I didn't recognize. As he fumbled with her keys, helping her unlock my door, I heard her say it, clear as day, her voice slurring slightly. "God, it feels good to be with a real man who drives a real car. My husband's truck is just so embarrassing. The neighbors probably think we're rednecks." The suit guy, who I later found out was Ryan, her regional manager, laughed. "Well," he slurred back, "at least the truck matches his job, right? Grease monkey needs a monkey mobile." They both roared with laughter at that. My stomach churned. Then Chloe added, the words hitting me like ice water. "Don't worry. I've been using his credit cards to build my escape fund. Another 2 months, maybe, and I'll have enough to leave his S and get my own place closer to the office. Then we won't have to hide anymore." They kissed right there on my porch, a long, lingering kiss, before stumbling inside my house together. I watched the recording 3 times. Punched in the gut doesn't even begin to cover it. 7 years together, 5 married. I thought we were happy. Okay, maybe a few arguments about money. I save, she likes to spend. But nothing that explained this level of calculated betrayal and contempt. Mocking my job, my truck, stealing from me to fund her escape with her boss. I didn't explode, didn't call her immediately. Instead, a strange, cold calm settled over me. I called in sick to the last day of my course. I could retake it later. Then, before starting the 4-hour drive home, I made one very important phone call. To my cousin, a financial advisor. I pulled into our driveway around 2 p.m. the next day. And just as I expected, Ryan's shiny Audi was parked right there in my spot. Perfect. I parked my embarrassing F-250 directly behind it, blocking him in completely. I walked into my house. The look on their faces when they saw me standing in the doorway, almost worth the heartbreak. They were sitting at our dining room table, the one my grandfather made by hand, casually having lunch, drinking the expensive bottle of wine I'd been saving for our upcoming anniversary. "You're supposed to be at your course," Chloe said, her voice tight, not even bothering to feign surprise or guilt. Ryan immediately stood up, straightening his ridiculously expensive tie. "I should probably go." "Yeah, good luck with that," I said coolly, tossing my keys onto the kitchen counter. "My embarrassing truck is currently blocking in your real car." Chloe's face went pale. What are you talking about?" I didn't answer, just pulled out my phone, tapped the screen, and played the doorbell video from the night before, loud enough for them both to hear clearly. The color completely drained from Chloe's face as her own voice filled the room, mocking my truck, mocking me, detailing her escape plan funded by stealing from me. "The doorbell," she whispered, horrified. "I forgot about the stupid doorbell." Ryan grabbed his jacket, clearly wanting out. "Chloe, handle this. Call me when he's gone." I actually laughed then, a harsh, bitter sound. When I'm gone, buddy, this is my house. My name, and only my name, is on the mortgage. And FYI, genius, I added, looking directly at Ryan, her name isn't on a single one of my financial accounts. I checked. This was mostly true. We had separate primary accounts for years at her insistence. Ironically, because she complained I was too controlling with money, best decision I ever made, apparently. Chloe finally found her voice, switching instantly to indignant victim mode. You can't just throw me out. I'm your wife. I'm entitled to half of everything. Including the credit card debt you've apparently been racking up? I asked calmly. Because that one call I made this morning? It was to freeze all cards she had access to as an authorized user and request detailed statements for the past 6 months. Should make for some interesting reading. Ryan whipped his head around to look at Chloe. You said you were using your own money. Chloe ignored him, turning on me. I need those cards. I have expenses. Oh, I bet, I said, the numbness starting to wear off, replaced by a slow burn. Expenses like hotel rooms with Ryan, fancy dinners at places I've never heard of, designer clothes I've certainly never seen you wear. Ryan's phone buzzed. He glanced at it, frowning deeply. I have to get back to the office. Seriously, move your truck. Sure thing, I said agreeably. As soon as Chloe packs an overnight bag and leaves with you. What? They both spluttered in unison. I'm changing the locks in an hour, I stated flatly. Chloe can come back with a police escort this weekend to get the rest of her personal belongings. Until then, I need space. In my house. The one I pay for. Chloe started crying then. Those fake, practiced tears that never quite seemed genuine. You can't do this. Where am I supposed to go? I just shrugged. Ryan drives a real car, doesn't he? I'm sure he has a real apartment to match. Or maybe your parents can put you up. Either way, I met her tearless eyes. Not my problem anymore. The next hour was chaos. Screaming, threats from Chloe, frantic pacing from Ryan, who clearly regretted getting involved. Finally, Chloe stuffed a suitcase with as many designer labels as she could cram in. I went outside, moved my truck. As they sped away in his Audi, I made my second important call of the day, to a locksmith. 1 week later. The locksmith came within the hour that first day. Changed everything. New security codes, the works. That night, the real horror began. I went through our finances meticulously. The statements I'd requested arrived electronically. It wasn't just her using the authorized cards irresponsibly. It was far, far worse. Over the past 8 months, Chloe had secretly opened 3 new credit cards in my name. Identity theft. She'd racked up over $35,000 in charges across these fraudulent accounts, making just minimum payments from an old joint savings account I thought we were using for house renovations. The purchases? High-end electronics, spa treatments, clothes, and get this, a $7,200 Cartier watch for Ryan's birthday, which she'd labeled as Mom's medical expenses in our shared budget app. Sickening. I documented every single fraudulent transaction, every lie. Took it all, statements, doorbell footage, everything, to the police the next morning, and filed a formal report for identity theft and financial fraud. The officer was sympathetic, but warned it could get complicated because we were married. Still, the report was officially filed. An investigation opened. Then came the expected barrage. First, Chloe's mother called, screaming bloody murder about me being an abusive monster, throwing her precious baby out onto the street. I let her rant herself out, then calmly asked if she had a minute to listen to something. I played the doorbell video recording over the phone, Chloe mocking me, detailing her plan. Dead silence on the other end. Finally, a shaky, I'll call you back. Click. She never did. Next up, Ryan's wife. Yes, Mr. Real Car apparently forgot to mention his very real marriage to Chloe. His wife, Sophia, had found my number on their shared phone bill after noticing suspicious charges and late nights. She wanted answers. I felt awful for her, so I gave her copies of everything. The doorbell video, the evidence of the watch purchase. She was devastated, but also incredibly grateful. He told me he was working late all those nights, she said, her voice thick with tears. We have 3 kids. That afternoon, My lawyer served Chloe with divorce papers at her parents' house, where she'd apparently landed after Sophia inevitably confronted Ryan. The papers included the evidence of identity theft, financial fraud, a temporary restraining order preventing her from coming near the house without supervision, and a detailed accounting clearly separating legitimate marital assets from her fraudulent debt. 2 days later, Chloe showed up at my workplace with her father in tow, caused a massive scene in the reception area, screaming that I was trying to ruin her, leave her with nothing, that I owed her for the years she wasted on me. My boss, who's known me for over 10 years, calmly told them to leave, or he'd call security and the police. As security escorted them out, Chloe hurled one last parting shot. "Enjoy your pathetic truck and your pathetic job. I was too good for you anyway." Her father looked utterly mortified. That evening, the desperate texts started flooding in from Chloe. "Please call off the fraud investigation. They're talking about pressing charges. I didn't mean to take that much money. I just needed some independence. Ryan dumped me. His wife found out. She took the kids and the house. My parents are making me pay rent. Can you believe that? And finally, can I please just come home? We can work this out." I didn't respond to a single one. Yesterday, I had the most unexpected visitor, Sophia, Ryan's soon-to-be ex-wife. She brought coffee, asked if we could talk. She'd filed for divorce and wanted to compare notes, make sure our respective cheating spouses couldn't screw either of us over further. We ended up talking for 3 hours, mostly about the shock and pain of betrayal, trying to make sense of it all. As she was leaving, she paused by my truck. "Nice truck, by the way," she said with a small smile. "My dad was a mechanic. He always said you can tell a lot about a person by how they maintain their vehicle." That felt good. Chloe's lawyer called mine this morning. Apparently she wants to settle quickly and quietly now. My lawyer thinks the pending fraud charges have her terrified, as they should. The detective called yesterday. They're building a solid case. Settlement meeting next week. Taking it one day at a time. Okay, the settlement meeting and the surprise twists. I went into my lawyer's office for the settlement meeting, stomach churning, even though I knew the law and the evidence were on my side. Chloe was already there, and honestly, I barely recognized her. Gone was the polished farmer rep. She looked small. Messy ponytail, no makeup, just jeans and a plain sweater. Dark circles under her eyes. She tried to approach me when I walked in, but my lawyer smoothly intercepted, guiding me to our side of the table. Her attorney, a stern-faced woman, just gave me a curt nod. Before we even started, Chloe's phone rang. She grimaced, silenced it. It rang again 5 minutes later. Silenced. Third time. Fourth time during the first half hour. Each time, she looked more anxious, paler. The settlement itself was surprisingly fast. With the police report, the documented identity theft, the $35K plus fraud, the doorbell video, her position was indefensible. Her lawyer clearly knew it. The agreement was straightforward. I keep the house, my premarital asset, my retirement accounts. She keeps her personal stuff. We split the minimal legitimate marital debt 50-50. She assumes 100% responsibility for all the fraudulent credit card charges she racked up. Just as we were finishing, her phone rang again. This time she excused herself, stepping out into the hallway to take the call. Through the glass wall, I saw her face just crumple as she listened. When she came back in, she was visibly shaking. Her lawyer requested a short break. During the break, I overheard snippets from the hallway, Chloe talking frantically to her lawyer. "Repossessed this morning. Missed 3 payments. Credit score is tanked. Need a co-signer." When we reconvened, Chloe looked utterly defeated. She signed the settlement agreement without another word. As we were packing up, she asked haltingly if she could speak to me privately. Against my better judgment, I agreed. Lawyers waiting just outside the door. "They're threatening to take my car," she whispered, not meeting my eyes. "The leasing company called during the meeting. The last 3 payments bounced." This was the Lexus I had been covering the lease for. I just waited. "Ryan promised he'd help with the payments," she continued, "after everything happened. But he just ghosted me. His wife took him for everything in their divorce." "That's unfortunate," I said neutrally. I need a favor, she mumbled, staring at the floor. Just a small loan? Until I get back on my feet? Enough for a down payment on a cheap used car. I can't get to work without one. What happened to your escape fund, Chloe? I asked quietly. The one you were building using my credit cards? She flinched. I had to use it. For legal fees. And to pay my parents back for letting me stay with them. And where are you staying now? I asked, genuinely curious. A coworker's couch, she admitted, voice barely audible. But she wants me out by the end of the month. I thought about it. A tiny part of me, remembering the good years, felt a flicker of pity. But then I remembered the doorbell video, the mockery, the theft. I have a better idea, I said finally. I know someone selling an old car, runs well, reliable, cheap, no loan needed. Her eyes lit up with desperate hope. Really? Oh, Daniel, thank you. Don't thank me yet, I cut in. It's not a gift. You'll work it off. Work it off? How? Ran into Ryan at a gas station last month. He was driving a beat-up old Hyundai. Sophia got the Audi in their divorce. He couldn't even meet my eyes. 2 weeks ago, met a client at the diner where Chloe works. Didn't know she was there. When she saw me walk in, her face went through 5 shades of pale. To her credit, she was professional. Called me sir, took our orders, kept coffee filled. And as we paid, she spoke directly to me for the first time. The truck looks good. New paint job? Just a good detail and wax, I replied. Takes maintenance to keep things running right, doesn't it? She nodded, a flicker of understanding in her eyes. I'm learning that the hard way. I left her a generous tip. Not pity. The service was good, and honest work deserves fair pay. Yesterday, my lawyer forwarded court docs. Chloe tried petitioning to reduce her restitution payments due to hardship. Judge denied it flatly, citing her pattern of prioritizing luxury over responsibility. Sophia asked me if I felt vindicated by how everything turned out. It's not about winning, I told her. It's about consequences. Chloe made her choices. Mock me, cheat, steal. Now she lives with the results. Me? I'm working on a vintage motorcycle in my garage. My embarrassing truck parked beside it, running perfectly. Sophia and the kids are playing in the backyard. Chloe wanted a real man with a real car. Now she drives a clunker between her tiny apartment, the diner, and highway cleanup duty. Her Instagram is all inspirational quotes now. Me? I'm still just a mechanic with a truck. But now, everyone sees the value in that. Sometimes, the best revenge is just letting people face the natural outcome of their own actions. Thanks for listening, Reddit. Time to close this chapter for good.